Dead, Season 7, Episode 13, Bury Me Here. When this episode started, and it obviously put us in the case of with the kingdom, and they're about to do an offering, and all they've got is like a couple of boxes of melons, and it's sort of like the same conversations over and over again, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a boring one, you know. I hope it's just not going to be a back and forth between should we get into battle, should we not get into battle, and then the opening piece is when they have this like single solitary melon in a box in the back of one of Ezekiel's trucks, and I'm thinking, why is there only one melon there? And then slowly but surely, as the episode unfolded, and we eventually come to the conclusion that Richard is just gone to the complete and total extreme in regards to making Ezekiel understand why we have to fight and so on. Obviously, he was going to use himself as a sacrifice to show everyone that this war needs to be fought. And yeah, this episode completely blew my mind by the time it finished. The fact that they killed off Benjamin was like, yeah, come on, it's about time, you know? I mean, people can get shot here and people can get shot there and people die and so on. And I mean, how many times are we going to see Negan shock us with killing someone else, you know? But in this case, we watched Benjamin just get shot in the leg, but obviously he gets shot in the ephemeral artery and he bled out and he died. And then we really see what Richard's really made of as well in regards to everything. I mean, he's clearly upset about what's happened, but then there's this great moment where Morgan confronts him, when Morgan realises what he's done, where obviously he's taken this one melon away from the batch in order to cause the Saviours to get pissed off and to kill one of them. Obviously he was supposed to be the one that died, but obviously it was Benjamin instead. And this great moment between Morgan and Richard, where Richard is really pouring his heart out, and he's like, I lost my wife, I lost my daughter, Katie, which is just a quick detour. It was almost like a Dead Rising 2 Easter egg, because in Dead Rising 2, the famous Capcom zombie game, there's the character Chuck and his daughter's Katie, and she has a little bag that says Katie on, and I thought that was pretty sweet. Anyway, and at this point, you really feel for Richard. You know, you really feel his pain, and then all of a sudden there was a moment where he turned his personal loss and then justified the loss of Benjamin to go to war, and that was the moment where you could just see, because Morgan thought this entire scene was brilliant, even though he doesn't say a single word, he just stares at him and he's trying to play with his own anger issues about what's going on and his frustrations, and he doesn't say a word. And it's almost like Morgan just completely sees through his intentions. And he said, you basically, you're deluded, mate, you know? And if I was reading Morgan's mind at that time, that's what I think he would be saying. He's saying, you know, you've done this completely wrong. This wasn't the right way to do it. And then comes that a moment which completely took me by surprise, is when they go back to, you know, give them this melon that obviously wasn't in the original delivery to the Saviours, and Morgan just goes mental and throttles Richard to death. And I was like, this is awesome. Come on, Morgan. But then, taking away my enjoyment factor about the scene, we then see that Morgan is fallen back into his pit of doom. You know, and the Morgan that we knew, as in back in season 1, and then furthermore in, I think it was season 4 that he came back when Rick found him and he was just completely lost his mind. We see that coming back again, and we see the struggle in Morgan on trying to maintain his sanity, really, and I could relate to that, to be completely honest with you. I could completely relate to that, because I'm constantly trying to maintain my own sanity. But that was brilliant. What a great character Morgan is, and what a great episode. You know, it was brilliant. Which brings me to kind of where we go from there. And the epilogue of this episode was Morgan telling Carol about everything that's happened. And it's interesting the way how Carol found this out, really. The fact that it came from Morgan, the level of emotion in Carol, let's say, would have been more if Daryl had told her. But because of everything that's happened with Benjamin dying, and the fact that the fact that Morgan is clearly has crossed the line inside his own mind, and he's now in a stage of killing. It's almost like you could see it in Carol as well. You could see that burningness in Carol, and it's almost like this needs to be done now, and we need to move forward. The Saviours need to end, and the final shots is where Carol goes to the kingdom, approaches Ezekiel, and says, "Ezekiel, this needs to be done. You know, we need to fight." But at that moment, Ezekiel just says, "Well, not today, because today I'm going to plant a tree with Benjamin's little brother." Is it Benjamin's little brother? Either that was his acting little brother. Anyway, this little kid. And yeah, that totally blew my mind, to be honest with you. It was really, really good. Like I say, I mean, as the episode started, it just felt very generic to me, and especially with Richard, because I mean, I'm sure all you guys out there who are watching this probably agree with me as well, is the fact that Richard was just getting a bit irritating about his intentions, and he was clearly extremely frustrated his character was extremely frustrated in what was going on, and all he wanted to do was act. Especially again, it brings back this whole thing, you know, in a world of an apocalypse, we all deserve to live, so what right do the Saviours have to governors, to dictators, and even though his intentions were good, Richard was clearly just completely deluded. And yeah, he was at the point of desperation. But moving forward, that wasn't the way to do it. And it was foolish of him to think that he'd be the one who's going to be sacrificed. So, anyway, yeah, that episode's over. How many episodes are left now? So that was episode 13, so we've got 14, 15 and 16. Only 3 episodes left. What's going to go down next week? Once again, I have no intention of watching the teaser for next week. I just want to see where we go from here. I mean, what I will say, any of you guys out there who are watching this video, just don't forget to click that like button. I mean, if you are watching this video and you do come back and watch my reviews, please come back and watch another. Keep on going. Tell all your mates about it, because all I want to do is have a real good discussion with people about Walking Dead. And my Walking Dead videos just don't get any views at all, and it's quite interesting, really. Because I know I mean, fair enough, The Walking Dead's a worldwide phenomenon, and there's people all over the world doing YouTube videos about Walking Dead. So I'm one in a swimming pool of million, really, about people who love doing this. But don't get my videos liked, tell all your mates, and get them to watch my videos, and we can have a full-blown discussion about it, because all I want to do is talk about The Walking Dead. So anyway, enough of that. As always, thank you very much for watching. Always a pleasure, never a chore. Click subscribe if you want to see more. Peace out, and I'll see you next time.